Good evening from Yummy BTV. Wishing you all well, of course, right now. You've been asking me to do this, right? So there's many of you asking me. It will be the last time I talk on the Liverpool stuff, all right? But this bit and the things you're sending me saying, yeah, but Uncle Yummy, look at the video with him and the little girl in the box in TikTok, right? So this was about 2, 3 years ago where Darren had probably been thrown off everywhere else and was trying TikTok. And he gets there and people are asking to go into the box, right? It happened to me as well, but in a different way. Now, I believe on this day, at that time, 2, 3 years ago, Darren's mental health was in a little bit of doubt. He was warring and in mad rages of anger with almost everyone on YouTube, and he's fighting a battle of his own on his own, like has done for most of his life, right? So I don't believe his mental state was quite right when that little girl went in. They're sending it to me. I'm saying, look, but I can't find anything sexual grooming in there that makes him something that another lady on that other podcast is suggesting about those things that I was strong about and upset about photographs. Because look, this is what I believe took place. They do the interview, right? They're saying, but look what happened 3 years ago with that little girl in the box, right? It's been deep, you know. People's IQ levels and intelligence levels are really, really low because they would have thought the public would have been fooled, even though some will get fooled. How did you believe that you're thinking one-on-one, we got one there that's going to join in because that's a 13-year-old girl in that little box. But he didn't say nothing about sexing things. I hope he doesn't mind. I put that down to mental, going for a bad time, not knowing how to work TikTok. And everything he said to that young girl, which I believe is more emotional immaturity, right? He spoke to her the way he was speaking to everybody, adults, mums, aunties, villains, criminals. At that time, there was not really much change in it, right? But for their IQ and their low intelligence to think that we were going to be fooled, which is why it's made it more ridiculous, really, in reality. To say, look, see, we got that bit, and that bit goes, it wouldn't have even got into a court of law. Stop being silly. It's absolutely ridiculous. Look, Jimbo, daily bullshit, Sandra, you know they are. They're going to come weighing in on me in a minute, right? But I don't mind them all, man. You can say a few things to me and I'll take it on the chin. But you know what? I quite like it, some of you. I think the other things I'm doing, you probably understand a little bit more way. Sometimes it's best to wait and be patient. But Darren G, in the prison side of things, you know that I spent 40 years in institutions. For all that time, serious Liverpool beef going on. I never got involved in those things. Manchester and Liverpool, I never got involved with. 4 separate occasions, right? He's often outnumbered, Darren, all right, in them places. He's a lone ranger. He fights all these wars on social media on his own. He was always his own man and never wanted to need no one. He was that, it'd be me and my one right to the end. And that's how he's always been. The arguments that were taking place at education, down the gym, out the windows, they all sorted it out to meet outside the next day and all of them have it. 4 different occasions from one, all right, I'll meet you down here in the morning. Darren was the only one waiting there. The other kids didn't turn up, right? The second one, down in education, the same thing. He said to me, yeah, you go through the door and I'll follow behind you. You didn't follow behind him. You must have legged it. Through the fence, they said, they come up with the big one. Go to the church and I'll go in for come in, we'll go around the back there and we'll proper have it then if you want. Real serious damage is going to be done there. Came to the gate, started screaming and shouting before he got through the gate, the other geezer, saying his name. And Darren was just sitting quietly on the chair. He made all the screws see everything, so he turned up not really wanting to fight, because if you wanted it to really work well, you would have just been quiet like Darren G and just sat there and then done it quietly and peacefully in the toilets or whatever. It never took place. Darren G, they didn't seem to want to know, right? I got loads of big South Liverpool, Manchester things. They know that I like Darren G. They say to me, yeah, I mean, listen, they don't like him. Not everyone. There's a lot of love. Some people of mine love Darren. They said, yeah, I mean, I said, no, but I like him and I think he's true on certain things. They said, and you know what? They never tried to persuade me. And I hate a man who tries to persuade me on someone I like. We can have agree to disagree at sometimes, but I don't change my mind and join the crowd just because they want me to. I don't do it that way. So they never try to persuade me. And these are big, big, big dons in that life. In my life, the only thing that ever mattered, and I don't believe in it now, is that as long as you turn up, win, lose, draw, who's wrong, who's right, you're a grass, you're this and that, and all the politics that ever came out, lots of life down in Liverpool, a lot of sad things happen, that you turn up, win, draw, or lose, right? Some people don't like to take the last bit because people don't want to turn up and be violated and everybody laugh at them and all the mouth they were giving at first, they can come unstuck, you see? But Darren turned up anywhere. Show me. He was in jail years. I was in jail much more years than him. Where's the ones where Darren got beat up? I ain't heard none of them. I never saw. Come on, man. Do the math sometimes. That's the best I can do on the prison stuff as well. But no, that was a failed attempt with that sex stuff. And that's when I knew it was. That was one of the reasons that added force to my story, is that how you're going to do that one and then grab onto that one in there. Because when I first went to TikTok, I didn't know how to work it. So little girls were coming in. I said, no. I said, I made everybody hear, if you're coming in there, you've got to keep it properly and appropriately. They said, please, Uncle Yummy, we just want to sing. But I was panicking because I know what happened to Darren G. So, but when they came on, they started singing. They said, we wouldn't do that to you, Yummy. So it's two different ways of doing things, all right? So that's the best I can do on that. I'm back on live tomorrow. But no, I always believe once you show in that life, at least you showed a little bit of face. And I don't abide by all that old rubbish now about holding on to certain rules and pride and ego and all that. I'm not involved, so it doesn't come up in my life anymore.